Ready to roll. Welcome, everybody, to Bird's Nest Stadium in beautiful Georgetown, Kentucky for tonight's Week 2 football game. The Scott County Cardinals come in off that big win over Franklin County a week ago, 20-17. They are 1-0. They will take on the Lafayette Generals, 0-1 out of Class 6A. Lafayette lost 41-8 in Week 1, but it's forgivable when you figure that it was against Johnson Central, one of the perennial title contenders in Class 4A, where Scott County played one of those 4A contenders last week. That's kind of a good barometer to see where this one might be at. I'm Cal Oakes with Sam Sutton. And Sam, you've played in some wars against this Lafayette program back in 15-16 when they had a bunch of guys we're on a first name basis with, Landon and Jedrick and Walker and et cetera. But they've fallen on a lot harder times lately. The thing about them, this has always seemed, though, to be one of those beware of the dog games where no matter what the records, Lafayette always gives Scott County a tough time. Last year might have been the exception.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's definitely no love lost between the two programs. We, like you mentioned, we had some great battles back in the day, and it goes a lot farther than that. So I think Lafayette always gets excited for this game as just as well as Scott County does. So I definitely think it will be a good one no matter what.
Scott County, really, I thought, shined on the defensive side of the ball last week. Only gave up one touchdown on the night, really swarmed to the ball. Elijah Adams with 9 solo tackles in that one. They really set the tone and let Scott County kind of dictate things. A couple of good drives on offense, pulled a gadget play out of the hat in the second half at one point and came out with a huge win, not just because it's an opening night win, but because they really turned it around from what they felt was an embarrassing loss a year ago.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think that's a starter. You know, you want to get out 1-0, but like you mentioned, to have a comeback like that, I think it just really brought the team together. You know, last year you get hit in the mouth first game, and it's kind of like, where are we as a program? Where are we as a team? Where do we want to go? This year they have that same test and they come out victorious, and you know that can really get you going. So now I think they have the confidence. I think they're ready. I think they have that old school Scott County swagger back, and it's good to see.
Yeah, on offense as well, it really felt like vintage Scott County football, at least a lot more what we're used to. You had Jacob Fryman at fullback, really grinding things out, 23 carries, 104 yards. Got in the end zone a couple of times and really kept things moving forward. Not a lot of negative plays. I think the big problem the past couple of years is sometimes they've gotten behind the sticks a little bit. Stayed ahead of them against Franklin County, and if they do that tonight, they should have very little problem with Lafayette, it would seem.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like we mentioned, the number one thing in this offense, you got to stay ahead of the chains. You can't have turnovers, but you have to stay ahead of the chains. And I think they did a great job of that last week, and I think they're going to look forward to doing that again. And definitely with this competition, you just got to go out there and treat it like week one or in the playoffs. Every snap's the exact same, and take care of business.
I liked the balance that they showed in the running game last week. You saw Ellis Hughley and Thomas Fikert hitting the east to west stuff. In addition, Fryman kind of set that up. You had Luke Valencia on the pass. You also had Andrew Hickey back there. He was a year older, a year wiser, a sophomore with a full year as a starter under his belt. 8 for 10 throwing the ball. Mixed it up, 4 throws, 4 catches for Isaac York and 4 catches for Eli Lilly. So this is an offense that it's not going to be an air raid by any stretch of the imagination, but they can hurt you in different ways.
No, we definitely have athletes down there. I was just down on the field talking to some coaches, talking to some players, and like you mentioned, Andrew Hickey has gotten, I mean, he's gotten so much bigger and stronger, and he's really taken that leadership role. And then he's got some athletes to play with. You know, he's got some dogs out there, and it really shows. And like I said, I think they just have the complete confidence right now that they can be the best.
Lafayette has undergone kind of a valley in the program, as we mentioned. Struggled the past few years. They've lost 4 straight to Scott County. Of course, they had a couple of coaching changes. Eric Shaw stepped aside. He's the one that guided them to the 2016 championship game with all those stars. But then they had a change, and then that coach bailed out, and another one came in. John Lawson is in charge of the Generals right now, and their roster, they don't have a lot of guys who made an impact last year. A lot of their leading statistical guys on the offensive side of things graduated. So there'll be some element of surprise. We don't necessarily know what to expect from the Generals this year with a new coach coming in on the Scott County turf.
Miss Wilson getting a shout out.
Yes, we're getting a shout out from Miss Wilson as the teams head to the 50-yard line for the coin flip. Ethan Miracle down there, the captain for Scott County tonight, along with Cam Keller. A couple of big boys there with Coach Jim McKee. As Lafayette brings out, it looks like Des Hanley and Pharrell Thurman as their two captains. Generals will be wearing the white tops and the red pants tonight with the red helmets. Scott County in kind of the coal-colored tops with the red numbers. A little easier to see up here, at least while it's daylight, so we're looking forward to that.
Hey, I tell you what, Cal, no one deserves a better shout-out than Miss Wilson. What a wonderful woman that has represented Scott County so well for so many years.
My goodness, just the tradition. Just you say that name around here, and it speaks volumes about this Scott County program and the foundation that was built even before Coach McKee got here more than a quarter century ago now. I believe this is year 26 for Jim McKee. They have been to 4 state championship games at the 6A level, 1 title. Trying to get back there in 5A this year. Certainly no easier dealing in 5A right now. You've still got Frederick Douglass there, the Warren County schools as well, Owensboro, et cetera, Highlands. It's anybody's ball game. But I think Scott County, with the strength of schedule, a lot of those tough games here, we saw last week how much that can make a difference. They're headed in a good direction in 2022.
I totally agree, Cal. And I think this 5A race is a lot more open than it has been in previous years.
And it's more open in general than 6A when you think about it. I mean, 6A is a great class, but you've got Trinity, St. X, and Mayo, and then last couple of years, Madison Central's kind of stuck its nose in there in the final. They got the Final Four last year, and certainly look like they're off to a good start here in 22 as well. But with Coach Holcomb down there getting his 300th win, but it's 5A's no picnic at all. And speaking of 5A and teams that may be headed back to 6A, Great Crossing is on the road tonight. We'll get updates on them as we can. They're at North Oldham playing the Mustangs, kind of tracking them on YouTube. We think anyway, as the game will begin there shortly. Indeed it has. They're showing players to watch, so we'll at least monitor the score there. But a good one here tonight, a good chance for, like we said, we think Scott County on the fast track to 2-0. They've just got to take care of the football. Last week, that's what they did. Took care of the ball, no turnovers. The penalties didn't really hurt them. Just kind of dominated time of possession for the most part, except for maybe 1 quarter in that game.
Yeah, no doubt. I think if the Cards can play like that the rest of the year, Cal, they have a great shot at this 5A playoff.
Just a beautiful night here at Bird's Nest Stadium. About 6 o'clock, I thought the clouds looked a little ugly to our south, but as long as they didn't roll in from the west, we were going to be fine. And blue skies and sunshine here at the 7:30 bottom of the hour as the Cardinals take the field, flying the banners of the
red, white, and blue
service, baby. The Marines, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and the red, white, and blue, of course.
Looks like we got some Titans running out there with them. Royal
Spring Titans. They had a doubleheader, I believe, with Georgetown Middle last night.
How'd that go?
I think Georgetown Middle might have swept that one, but there's some talent throughout our middle schools that they're all going to be future one or the other, one type of bird or the other as the years go by. And good showcase last week for the entire Scott County schools football programs, as it looks like Scott County will receive. Buddy Collins heading back there with Logan Jones deep. We'll see if Lafayette kicks to them. Looks like number 82 for Lafayette will kick it away. He is Aiden Stark, a 5'9" freshman. Jones and Collins can flat out fly. A lot of the kickoffs last week were squibs, except for the one that Franklin County returned for a touchdown.
It should definitely be returnable, Cal, and I'm looking forward to seeing if the Cards can get this wall put together and see what kind of speed Buddy or Logan has through this hole. Because they can definitely hit a burst real quick.
There is no shortage of speed back there in number 5 and number 3 for the Cardinals. Thank you for joining us here at newsgraphic.com and on the NFHS Network. I'm Cal Oaks. Along with Sam Sutton, we are ready to call the action. The ball's in the air, ball's on the turf, actually. Short kick taken at the 35, pulling ahead toward midfield. Still on his feet across the midfield stripe is number 44. That is Sean Rowe, multi-sport athlete, junior, 5'8", 185 pounds, and he's a tough one. He can put the ball out of the park in the spring, too.
I love his attitude, Cal, and you could see it right there. He just bullied through, guys. He didn't waste any time. He got straight up field and put his nose down.
Returned it 16 yards to the Lafayette 49. That's where Scott County will go to work. Andrew Hickey, the sophomore quarterback. They'll have Jacob Fryman in the backfield along with Thomas Fikert. He's got a receiver out, split to the left, juggles it, but catches it. And taken out inside the 40. Should be another first down for York. For Isaac York, caught 4 balls for 81 yards last week. And right off the bat, I always like that nice safe pass out of the gate to get your quarterback warmed up.
Last week he was playing more tight end. Right there, we had him split out at wide out. Now he's going back to tight end. So I guess that was just, let's get him out, get him the ball early, see what he's got.
It's going to be second in inches. They didn't mark it quite at the 39. I'm guessing this is Fryman territory here. And no, because we've got a whistle. We have a sideline warning, looks like, on Scott County.
That's an early one.
Yeah, you don't want to get that on the second play of the game. We're 15 seconds in, and Coach McKee's got to order the troops to stand back behind the line.
That's a pretty quick call down there.
Definitely been a point. Yeah, when they make that call that quickly, you know they're kind of watching you.
Yeah, they want to make it a point.
Point of emphasis, as they like to say in the officiating circles. Ball just shy of the 39. Hickey under center. He will hand it off. No, he'll fake it to Fryman, but he'll get sacked as that took too long to develop. You kind of have a free play on second down, but you can't take a 6-yard loss, which is what they just did there. Number 99, Aiden Beckley, 5'11 and a half. He's listed at senior. I would just tell him to list me at 6 feet if I were 5'11.
Yeah, he had Ellis Hughley wide open on the wheel right there if he could have just got it off.
Little hurry up here as it's 3rd and 6, probably 4-down territory against a team like Lafayette. But boy, they put themselves in a situation they didn't need to be in. They will run wide with Fikert. Fikert's got a lot of room out there. He's got the corner to the 30, the 25, taken down by the ankle at the 22-yard line. That's a gain of 23 for Thomas Fikert and a Scott County first down.
Yeah, just get out on the edge right there, show your speed. There wasn't many defenders out there waiting on him. Looks like Lafayette's just trying to load this box up as much as they can, which is leaving the outside pretty much wide open. I would be shocked if we don't run a lot of sweep tonight.
Fikert had all day to run out there. He takes it down just shy of the red zone. Hickey under center again. He's got his man in motion. They'll hand it off again wide to the left. This time got to the 5, fumbled it out of bounds. Hopefully not through the end zone, but it's a 1st and goal situation.
I think that's the first carry we've seen Buddy Collins have this year. I was going to say,
that's the fleet-footed number 5, Buddy Collins. Already has a D1 offer to his credit, and only a sophomore, 5'10", 170.
He just has different juice out there, Cal.
They will force him out of bounds. Where are they going to mark it? Do they have we got a flag here? I guess it's coming back. It's going to be wiped out. That's a shame. Flag was back at the original line of scrimmage. So that's going to go for naught. Guess it was a hold. And they will mark off 10 to the 33, 4, 5. Wow, 15, I guess. I don't know what that was. I didn't see the signal. Was it a personal foul?
Maybe a chop block.
I was going to say a crack back or something that was.
It looks like nature. It looks like it was on the opposite end of the sweep, which makes me think it was a chop block.
Well, that's problematic because it makes it 2nd and 26. It's 15 yards from the spot.
I just run sweep again.
I think you've got room out there. Look at all that room to the right. They're going to go to the left instead. They'll run the same play. This time it is with Hughley, who cuts inside at the 10 and will score with ease. Never got touched. And he trots into the end zone from 37 yards out with only a minute and 20 gone in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you gotta try to stop that middle. If you can stop Belly for Scott County, that's very problematic. But it almost looks like Lafayette's putting all 11 guys in the box, and when you run that sweep out there, you're not even going to touch them.
If you get to that second level, forget it. Ian Stanley will attempt the PAT. Kicking game was problem last week, and Stanley will just fall on the low snap, and it will stay at 6-0. So the Cards score early, but more trouble in the PAT game they will have to sort out. But Ellis Hughley takes it to the house from 37 yards out. And a couple of miscues on the drive as well. A 15-yard penalty for the illegal block, and then the sack taken on 2nd and short. But Fikert with a big run to set it up, and now Hughley finishes the work. 6-0 Cards.
It's a good opening drive for the Cards right there. Show your dominance, assert yourself, and just kind of show Lafayette what you're made of right off the bat. That fight song never gets old.
Da, 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 da. We'd like to thank Bluegrass Orthopedics, serving athletes of all ages. Georgetown News Graphics, Scott County's 24/7 news source, news-graphic.com. Tuesdays and Fridays, all day and night online. News Graphic. Galvin's on Main. Stop by after the game or anytime. More than 100 items on the menu. We love them all. DMK CPA, Denise M. Keene for all your tax and auditing needs, and Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. Christian Rodriguez, the big man, will kick off. Sophomore starting offensive lineman. That will bounce at the 20, take a high hop over the returner's head at the 15. He'll pick it up and get smothered there. Great play by Scott County.
Jackson
Dameron came running in to take down Lafayette. Nowhere to go at its own 15-yard line. Actually inside the 15, mark it at the 14, and they've got a long way to go to start this out. Generals 1st and 10, trailing 6-0. Those numbers would be easier to see, but that sun is right in our eyes, too. So we've got that to deal with here early tonight. Scott County played the late game last week.
Looks to be the exact same starters as last week.
Yeah, you've got that. Jasante Harmon on the left side there. He had a monster game. Elijah Adams in the middle, number 1. Keep an eye on him.
Ben Camp is starting at number 59 at defensive end. That's a new wrinkle.
Generals will start out in the shotgun with an empty backfield. Now they've got a man in motion coming over to join the quarterback. Now they're crossed up and going to have to call a timeout, as having trouble getting the signal in was quarterback Matt King, a 5'8 junior, who's getting some help from Jackson Stevens, another scat back type, a sophomore he was bringing in the play, but there was some confusion, and Coach John Lawson will get a timeout here at the 10:35 mark. Great crossing in North Oldham, 0-0, 7:15 to play in the first quarter. Most of that game has taken place around midfield from what I can tell. A couple of changes of possession, but nothing doing on the scoreboard yet. Next week, Great Crossing will be here against Henry Clay, 7:30 start, Labor Day weekend. We'll start off in style Friday night. I'll be along with Coach Paul Raines for that one. It's Great Crossing. I don't know if they'll be looking to go 3-0 or 2-1. We'll see after tonight. They are on the road. Long road trip out there to North Oldham, about a 75-minute bus ride. Snap to King. He will throw it and get rid of it. Nice throw to the man on the run. First down and more to the 27. Good catch there by number 6, Pharrell Thurman. They've got a lot of little guys that can just kind of hide, move, and stutter step. He's 5'7", a senior.
Yeah, that was a good first down play. Just a little 5-yard out. Get your playmakers in space. Use your speed.
Matt King, the completion there to the 28-yard line, where Lafayette will have a fresh set of downs. Get them out of the hole a little bit as they got pinned on the kickoff.
Coach Monty going to the traditional, just one-on-one.
There's a handoff to Thurman. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, swarmed by about a half dozen Cardinals.
Great job by Ben Camp right there on the edge, setting the edge, making him come back in right there. And you got the whole swarm of defense coming in there.
Harmon went all the way across the field to join the party. That'll be a loss of several back to the 23. Call it a loss of 5. It'll be 2nd and 15. Oh, they're going to mark off a penalty in addition to that. I don't know what happened at the end. I guess that's at the end of the play. It's a personal foul on the Generals. They'll mark it back to the 12. So it's been an interesting start. A lot of laundry on the field here. 9:52 to play first quarter. Lafayette got that nice yardage to get out of the hole. Now they're back in it. In fact, behind where they started. They're at their own 12-yard line. 9:45 to play first quarter. King calling the signals. He will hand it off to Thurman, but nothing. There again. As again, 4 or 5 different Cardinals. Actually, it was a different running back this time as well. Harmon was there.
That's exactly what Coach Bonnie wants on the defensive end. Everybody has their gap assignment. Everyone plays their roles and then swarm to the ball. Cam Keller blew that up in the middle right there, and then you had about 5 other Cardinals that came right in and took him out.
Erickson Pierre-Louis, or Pierre-Louis, he's a senior, 6 feet tall. He was the running back on that play. They went backwards again, second down from the 10, second and 28. King to throw, dangerous throw, but he zipped it in there and found his man just shy of the 20. They'll get some of it back, but it's still going to be 3rd and long. It was a Scott County defender right there, and if he'd turned around, he might have been gone the other way.
Yeah, he fit that in a hole that probably shouldn't have been fit.
No. Put it in the bucket, though, and it will be 3rd and 19 from the 19. Clock running at 8:43 to go in the first quarter.
It's 4th down.
Okay, did they count?
I guess they counted
down?
the down.
Okay, it was after the play.
Yep.
I thought they had lost more yardage than that, so it surprised me when they only marked it back to the 12. This will be a punt from deep in Lafayette territory. Scott County's been good at blocking these over the years, and of course they got some help last week from the bad snaps and the low kicks, and there's another one.
Pick it up.
Scott County just booted it. That's not good. I don't think they ever had full-on possession.
It did hit one of our guys,
All it has to do is hit one, and it's poison.
But we got the ball about the 28-yard line.
Not very shy of the red zone again. That's going to be a short field for the Cardinals offense that has already gone to work with a 37-yard touchdown by Ellis Hughley on its opening drive.
I'm going to be honest with you, Cal. I don't really think that ball got blocked. I just don't think he kicked it.
Never got any elevation
Yeah,
whatsoever.
He just kicked it straight into the feet.
Lucky it didn't hit one of his linemen on the backside as it never got off the ground. They'll mark it actually at the 24, where Hickey will go under center. They'll hand it off to Fryman, bulls ahead inside the 20 to about the 16. Good gain of, call it 7 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3.
This offensive line is just bulldozing holes right now.
Scott County threatening to score again. They won this one 41-0 a year ago. They lead 6-0 already with 7:49 remaining first quarter. They've run the ball at will so far when they haven't taken a penalty or anything of that nature. Hickey will throw. He's got his man out on the left side. It's Hughley dragged down. Looked like a horse collar. Might have just gotten enough jersey to justify it. He's down at the 2, and Hughley is still not up, and that's concerning. It's a gain of 15 and 1st and goal again. Now Ellis Hughley runs toward the huddle.
Cal, that's why you got to call that penalty right there. I mean, that's the reason why the rule's in place, because he got his leg caught right under him right there.
Yep.
But that was a very good new wrinkle to the offense that we talked about last week. Hughley comes in motion, and they dump it to him almost like a bubble pass.
I was going to say, it looks like one of those New England Patriots bubble screens to Julian Edelman or something. Same number. They're on the 2, ticking down. Well, the clock stopped at 7:33 as Hughley was taken down out of bounds. Hand off to Fryman, fakes the throw, but Fryman is in the end zone for a walk-in touchdown with 7:30 to play. Scott County's lead has grown to 12-0, pending the PAT. They will try to kick it and get their kicking game issues sorted out here.
Last time the ball never even got to the placeholder.
And some interesting both sides here in the kicking game early. Stanley will get that one off the ground.
There we go.
It is good.
That was perfect.
Plenty of room to spare. Straight down the middle.
Snap, hold, kick.
Jacob Fryman with the 2-yard TD run. Key play, 15 yards. Andrew Hickey to Ellis Hughley.
Good execution so far, Cal. But they got to keep it going. Can't lay off.
The fight song, we're going to hear it quite a bit tonight, I think.
Perfectly fine with me.
Still no score in the other game. 4:30 to play in the first quarter at North Oldham. Rodriguez to kick it off once more. Last time they pinned Lafayette inside the 20. As the kick took a nice Scott County hop.
See the Cards stay in their gap right here and have good gap integrity.
Rodriguez boots it high. Taken at the 16-yard line. Across the 25, but
Perfect.
no farther.
Jackson Dameron again. 2 kickoffs, 2 tackles. For number 14, the sophomore Jackson Dameron.
He's been impressive at the sub-varsity level up to this point in his career. I've been interested to see what he can do up here on Friday nights, and so far so good on the special team side of things for Mr. Dameron.
Yeah, I was interested to see what he would play at the varsity level, offense or defense, but Coach Monty's got him out there at safety, strong safety right now, and from last week to this week, he's done a pretty good job, so I hope he keeps it up.
Harmon, Keller, and Hall up in the trenches on the defense for Scott County. As Lafayette, a lot of runs and a safe pass or two on its opening drive that went backwards, mostly due to penalties. King throws it quickly, had to get rid of it quickly. Well-designed play, but Scott County was all over it. Not much of a gain. As again, coming across the field to get involved to make the tackle is Mr. Harmon.
Yeah, he's all over the place. That's why that man's getting Division I offers.
He was the player of the game last week, and it's funny because you look at the total. He only had a couple of tackles, but boy, he influenced that game in so many ways.
Yeah, he impacts the games more ways than stats, I can tell you that.
2nd and 7 from the 29. King to throw it again, this time to the right side, telegraphed and high, and it's a good thing because there were about 3 coal-colored shirts there.
That hit A.J. Wands right in the helmet when he was dropping in coverage right there. If he had just turned his head, it would have been 6 the other way.
Collins was there.
Yeah, that was.
Cameron was there, I believe.
You can only run hitch routes so many times before a defense catches on.
Yeah, there's enough speed that if they catch that in stride and go the other way, you might as well forget it if you're Lafayette. 3rd and 7. Ball on the Lafayette 29-yard line. Matt King will roll it to his left. He's got a little room over there. He'll have to scamper now, shy of the sticks, forced out of bounds at about the 33. Lafayette probably will have to kick it away.
Yeah, it was the exact same play they ran on their first play and on their first drive, and when they got a first down, and the defense did a good job of covering that up that time. He had no other option than to scramble.
Luke Valencia was over there along with Jasante Harmon. Gain of 3 will still leave it at 4th and 3.
I think that's a good sign of a good defense, Cal. You know, you get surprised one time or whatever, but you don't get surprised again. And you make sure that you're all over it the next time they try to run something like that.
Lafayette going to run the play clock down and call timeout, I think.
I just don't think they had enough guys out there.
No, I'm not sure they knew what they were. I think they're probably indecisive about whether to punt or go for it. I mean, you could punt, but you're down 13-0. You barely got the ball off the ground last time you punted.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be too much of a difference in field positioning if you did go for it.
Honestly, Scott County is probably going to drive the ball whether they start on the 35, the 50, or their own 20. So.
Yeah, if you feel like you have a good, comfortable call right here, I mean, it's only 4th and 3, and you're not on your own 10. You're on your own, 34, 35?
We've seen other teams, namely Grant County, just forego the punt game entirely. It hasn't really bought them anything against either Scott County or Great Crossing the past couple of years. And it's just, I don't know what they're doing sometimes. But in this spot, you're not really totally in the shadow of your own goalposts, at least. Is there a flag still down the field that somebody didn't pick up?
That's what I was. It looks maybe.
There's an object of
Yeah, I
some
don't know.
sort. They are,
but they are going to try to.
They're going to
punt.
go with the safe punt formation here. It looks like. We'll see how safe.
Oh,
Not very. They almost got to it. He did get it away in pretty good hang time. Taking on the run, though, and across midfield, still on his feet to the 40. Is that Logan Jones?
yes, sir, it is.
He'll be down at the 41. And again, good starting field position for the Cardinals in Lafayette territory with 6:27 to play here in the first quarter.
He caught that so nonchalantly. I thought he caught it. But and then we got the, when you get that picket fence set up over there on the sideline, you can have a lot of room once you catch it.
Mark it at the 40, so call it a 23-yard return for Logan Jones.
So pretty much exactly where they were.
They really could have gone for it. Wouldn't have lost much out of the exchange.
DeQuise Brown in at wide receiver for Scott County.
Yeah, we talked about him off the air. He came out late for the team this year. He joined the basketball team late last season, as in playoff time. Little timing pattern to Brown right away, and he just overthrew him by a fingertip.
That's the first go ball we've seen all year, and first play of his season.
Well, hitch and
Wouldn't that been something?
And it would have been 6. Just through his outstretched fingers. Couldn't quite get there. 2nd and 10. Good call there, though.
Yeah, he was open. It was a good ball by Hickey, just right out of his reach.
A little too much. Get a little more air under it.
Yep.
Next time.
Elijah Lilly back in. Or Eli Lilly.
Toss play to Fryman. Corralled at the 38. No, it's not Fryman. I'm sorry. It's Fikert. It's Fikert. He was kind of lined up directly behind Hickey. Not what I'm used to seeing there, but
got a lot of new wrinkles this year.
Yeah, Coach McKee said, I didn't see any new wrinkles. I said, well, you kind of expanded the playbook.
Yeah, you expand.
I called it variations on a theme last week. Yes. I think that's how it's best explained.
Same formation, different wrinkles.
Mm-hmm. I had a coach who runs the wing tee up in New England once say, wing tee is about 5 different plays, but you can do about 20 different things out of each one of them.
Can't disagree.
Counter to the right, all kinds of room for Fikert, first down and more. He's still on his feet inside the 20, taking hope. The ball's on the ground. Did Scott County get it? It's still on the ground, and a lineman alertly falls on it at the 13.
I think Daff's on it.
And there's a flag down at the end of the play. We will see. It's going to be Scott County ball, fortunately.
That squirted out about 9 guys' hands right there.
We needed the Benny Hill theme music or something. Chris Berman.
Fumbling and stumbling right there. I'm interested to see what this flag is.
It was late. It was after players
he was already
down
laying on the ground.
It looks like it's going to go against Scott County. I don't know if somebody got hit in the back at the end of that.
Yeah, it's got to be what it is.
Ball was on the ground, and it's kind of a free-for-all at that point. So you got to figure both teams are flying around. Mark back to the 27. So what are we going to do with the first down mark? I guess it is a first down after that whole deal.
It was after the play. So it's just going to be 1st and 10.
Hickey will hand it off to Fryman. Good head of steam to the 22, gain of 5.
Fryman just seeks contact out there, doesn't he?
Yep, puts his head down and goes.
I think he purposely went into the outside linebacker right there.
I think he prefers to initiate the contact rather than being hit in the knees and the ankles and all that stuff.
I don't blame him.
Fullbacks learn quickly that that's what you're going to have to do at this level because that's the only way they're going to tackle you.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to be a different breed to play fullback in this offense.
2nd and 5, ball at the 22 of Lafayette, 13-0 Scott County, 4:45 to play first quarter. Fake to Fryman, wide open. Hickey to York. Touchdown, Cardinals, 19-0.
We talked about new variations. That wasn't. That's been ran for 20 years, and it's worked for 20 years. Getting the play action tight end corner route. Doesn't get better than that. And when it's ran correctly, there's normally not a defender within 20 yards of him.
3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Ian Stanley will try to kick his second extra point of the night. It is good. 20-zip.
Stanley looks good out there when we get it all together.
He's definitely got the foot. I've seen him on the soccer. He's the goalie on the soccer team.
That's normally where we get him.
That is. They've got 3 or 4 guys that are on the soccer roster that are also, I think McKee likes to have backups. They don't want anybody to get hurt. Scoreless after a quarter at North Oldham. Great crossing in North Oldham. Nothing in that one as the team switch ends.
Yeah, he's definitely not afraid to go over to the soccer team. I believe it was my sophomore or junior year. I think we were in our 10th game of the year. He went out to the soccer team just to get a guy to kick off. He wasn't happy with not getting it in the end zone enough, so we had to go out there right before playoffs.
I think his theory was, at the time in a school of 12, 13, 1,400 boys, you ought to be able to find one that can kick the ball.
Somebody.
Put it in the end zone. Now he's down to 600, but he's still got his share of kicking specialists.
Stanley kicking off.
Stanley will kick off instead of Rodriguez. I hope that's not an injury thing. Rodriguez is valuable on the offensive line. A lot of room for the Lafayette return man across the 40, almost up to the 45 before he's taken down. Erickson Pierre-Louis, the best field position of the night for the Generals with 4:29 remaining in the first quarter.
I might be a little biased there, Cal, but right where that gap he ran through, I thought Sean Rowe was getting drugged to the ground.
Yeah. It's usually the case, and it's legal if they don't get caught.
That's exactly
That's
right.
how it is on the kicking game.
It's legal if they don't call it.
They'll mark it at the 43.
But nonetheless, great return by Lafayette.
Yeah, you got to give them credit there. That's their best play of the night so far by a senior.
He definitely hit that hole hard.
This has been an impressive start for Scott County. Again, I don't know what the nature of the game. I don't know if it was a running clock early last week or what. 41-8 Johnson Central over Lafayette, and already 20-0 here, Scott County. That's a run play that's blown up for a loss, and 3 Cardinals all over it.
Elijah Adams has just played so much football. He can hit that hole before the running back really even gets the handoff. He blows so many things up, and it helps the rest of this defense tremendously.
Loss of 3 makes it 2nd and 13. He had some help there, but again, we said 9 solo tackles last week. He's well on his way to that number this week, depending on how long normal time in this game goes.
Yeah, no doubt. And when he doesn't get a solo tackle, he's getting other people tackles by misdirecting the running back.
Matt King to throw high and off the fingertips, and then gets pasted. Left his receiver in a bad spot, and Lukey just knocked out. Now there's a late flag coming in. What happened there?
I'm not sure what that flag is.
Are they going to call targeting about 3 seconds late?
I mean, he was already well out of the play by the time that flag was thrown. And nobody was really mouthing, I didn't think. I thought everyone was walking
obviously
away.
we can't hear what was said, but
That's
there was no visible celebration. They're going to call something against the Cards here, personal foul.
If that was targeting, that's the latest targeting call I've ever seen.
You had to think about it. If you have to think about it, it probably ain't targeting. They'll be moving the ball into Scott County territory for the first time, at least with Lafayette in possession of it at the 45, 1st and 10 there. 3:44 to play, first quarter. Generals trail 20-0 here at Bird's Nest Stadium. Cal Oaks along with Sam Sutton. Brett Smith is our producer here tonight, also photographer down on the field. I want to thank Mike Scoggin, my publisher, back at the office as well. Hope he's able to listen tonight. There's going to be another loss and another flag. Call it 2, 3, 4 flags coming in.
Yeah, that was.
We'll see what this is all about. Again, they just blew up the handoff.
Elijah Adams again. He's poised for a very special senior year.
Yes, he is.
That was about 4 flags thrown all at the exact same time.
In the same place. Sometimes that means holding.
Mask.
I was going to say it usually means holding or face mask.
Yep.
on a play like that, and it's going to be the face mask, and it's not going to be the 5-yard garden
And
variety.
now we got another flag down on Scott County sideline.
So that could be a sideline situation.
Yeah, because that's completely away from the ball.
Lafayette's best offense right now has been the guys in stripes pulling something out of the back pocket, because it has moved the ball from in their own territory to the Scott County 31. It is a face mask. And I'm going to pick this one up. I don't know.
Yeah, sideline.
I guess they're not going to stack two 15s together, at least as of right now. So it'll be first down there at the 31. Lafayette's in business right now. 3:36 remaining first quarter. Scott County, it's been self-inflicted. They are going to mark it off.
So
looks
that
like
is half the distance.
That's a 5-yarder.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's for. We haven't heard an announcement.
It had to be on our sideline interference on Scott County.
Isn't that usually 15? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ball at the 26, 1st and 5. And again, nothing doing in the running game as a rugby scrum dominated by the good guys.
No flag. That's
We'll
good.
take it.
Yeah, we'll take that. These referees definitely aren't afraid to throw flags tonight. I felt like last week was a lot more clean.
It was 2nd and 7 from the 28. Plus, it was late at night.
That's
true.
true.
They want to go home.
Yeah, I guess so.
Enjoying themselves out here.
They're not getting paid by the hour.
Nope. King fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, under pressure, under duress, throws it deep, picked off.
Paul Gardner.
Beautiful leaping interception shy of the goal line by Paul Gardner. PG2, PG4, and that will stop that drive.
Paul played that perfectly. He was right on the back hip of the receiver. As the ball was in the air, he got in front of him and made a play. Got it at its highest point. That's how you bait a quarterback into throwing that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let him get a step. You're right on his back hip. He thinks he can fit it in there, and most of the time he can't. And then you step in front, make a play, and that's exactly what Paul Gardner did. Scott County's going to take over on it. Looks about like their own 4-yard line right here with 2:40 left in the first quarter.
The 2 personal fouls helped out that drive, but Paul Gardner put it to rest. His brother's going to be the starting tailback at Cumberland's tomorrow.
Is that right?
That's what I've heard.
Good for Phil. That's a great family.
First coaching debut for Coach Shan Housekeeper, who a lot of people know from his time at Georgetown College. Ball is at the 4, so Scott County's got a long way to go after number 4 made the interception. Hickey will throw. He's got his man.
Lilly.
To the house, perhaps. Eli Lilly at the 50, the 40, the 30. Only one man can get him, and finally trips him up at the 15. I think that was Des Hanley who caught him from behind, but not before a gain of 81 yards. Maybe even more than that. They're going to mark it at the 10.
I believe so.
At the 9.
That was a great throw and catch there by.
At the 10. So 86 yards. Hanley to Lilly.
It's the exact same play they tried to run to Brown on the other side. This time they run it over to Lilly on the right side. Connect.
First and goal, Cardinals. 2:26 to play, opening quarter. That's just a demoralizing play if you're Lafayette.
No doubt.
Hand off to Fikert for a gain. He'll get half of it to the 5.
That's about the first time all night that we haven't had much room straight off the line of scrimmage there for Fikert. Brown comes back in at wide receiver.
Down to the 2:01 mark, and we'll have a timeout Lafayette, I believe, as they want to talk it over. That's a good timeout for the Generals and Coach John Lawson, as I might have taken it on the play before that, just to settle things down after you thought you had, at the very least, Scott County pinned despite the interception. And over the top, great throw, great catch. You just couldn't outrun the last man, but that could have been school record territory. A 96-yard pass, I mean, I know I haven't seen one while I've been here. As it is, it ended up at 86.
Yeah, he had the corner beat down the sideline, but I'm guessing it was the safety that came hawking him down
A little
there.
bit of speed, and
Yeah, he
you
definitely
kind of
had
run out of
speed.
steam when you see the end zone in your sights. But you hear
Also, yeah, he
footsteps.
also didn't catch it in stride. He kind of had to jump for it. It was kind of like a jump ball, and he just had the corner beat. But nonetheless, great play.
It will set up very likely at least another scoring opportunity here. Defensive struggle at North Oldham, 8:10 to play in the half there. Still no score, nothing between Great Crossing and the hometown North Oldham Mustangs. Good defense there for North Oldham. They had a bunch of takeaways last week that spurred them to victory. And of course, defense and special teams kind of carried the water for Great Crossing, which is funny to say when they hung up 60 points, but they were definitely working with some short fields last week with the help of their other units.
I don't think you messed around right here, Cal. I think you got 3 opportunities, Fryman straight up the middle.
He'd be the guy in this situation. You want to see what your fullback's got. Hickey barely had time to get the handoff to Fryman, who will bull ahead for the score. He will drag 3 Generals into the end zone about as deep as Bryce Fryman got at halftime about 6, 7 years ago and was denied. But anyway.
Opening up old wounds again.
It bugs me as much as, probably not as much as it bugs you, but dang close. I was standing right there. They didn't even want to talk about it. Nope. That was what got me. They didn't even want to discuss the matter.
We've definitely never got a whistle against the Generals. I can tell you that.
Not in Lexington.
If you look at it, we really haven't got a whistle tonight. The score is just kind of getting out of hand.
It's gotten out of hand quickly with 1:54 remaining in the opening quarter. It's 27-0.
But again, that's a sign of a good team, Cal. You know, you can come over adversity right here.
It started with Paul Garner making a great catch. It continued with Eli Lilly making a great catch, and then finished with the 5-yard run by Fryman, 27-zip.
Yeah, I like that in a game like this, and I kind of expected it to kind of let Hickey, you know, show his talent, open him up a little bit, get his confidence going, and really just kind of see what he's got this year. You know, against Franklin County, he had timely throws, good first down throws, but he didn't really open it up because that just kind of wasn't the game we needed out of him last week. But it's good to see that he's opening it up a little
Rodriguez back kicking off. Good to see. He gets it to the 12 and almost tripped up, still going forward to the 30 is Mr. Pierre Lewis.
Jackson Dameron was going for tackle number 3 right there and just missed.
Erickson Pierre Lewis is
it's a great name.
Yeah, it's a great name, and he's done some nice things in the return game tonight for the Lafayette Generals. He'll take it out to the 29.
He made about 3 or 4 Cardinals miss right there.
Put his head down and went. 27-0, so it's going to take at least 2 more scores to get to the running clock threshold. Well on their way to matching last year's 41-0 effort.
I tell you what, though, I know it's only the first quarter, but unless there's a shutout, Coach Money ain't going to be happy. I know that. So he's definitely going to be coaching them very hard.
You'd love to have a shutout and a complete game going into your bye week, which comes early this year in week 3. There is a quick throw and a quick tackle at the 30. Is
that Luke Valencia?
Valencia and one of the bigger bodies, Cam Keller, came in there as well.
That was a great play by Valencia to take on the screen block out there and still made the tackle. That's how you set an edge right there.
Generals will gain a couple out of that exchange. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 31. Sun setting here over Bird's Nest Stadium behind the church. There is another tackle for loss as lassoed behind the 30.
I feel like we say the same 3 names in the backfield every time with Adams, Harmon, and Cam Keller.
That's pretty much the story. Jackson Stevens just got tattooed early and often Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. 3rd and 9 at the 30. So call it a loss of 1. Now they'll mark it a little bit inside the 30. Loss of 1.5, I guess.
The Cardinals are definitely having their way on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
It has been a dominant performance if you subtract the penalties here in the first quarter for the Cards. King will throw. Now he'll scramble. He will stay on his feet long enough to get decked for a loss of 3, maybe 4.
Luke Valencia again.
Valencia all over the place.
When he gets to that carrier, he's like a Tasmanian devil. He just goes nuts on him. He definitely makes you feel it when he hits you.
Ben Pearson also out there.
Something I like about Luke, not only does he try to hit you, but he's digging for that ball and everything else the whole time he's tackling you. We'll see what Lafayette does here on 4th down. I'd expect a punt, but if not, that's a great stop there by the defense. Another 3 and out. That's exactly what you want.
They've got the quarter break to think about it as we will change ends. The score, Scott County 27, Lafayette nothing at the end of 15 minutes. Still no score, and haven't seen either team really get close out at the road game tonight. So
I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing as a coach. You can look at it however you want.
Kind of reminiscent of last year. I don't think Great Crossing really got going until the second half of that one either. So defensive struggle early.
It could get picked up. Scott County and Pringle County was 0-0 at the end.
That is true.
At the end of one last
week.
Week.
Because teams get tired and defenses get tired, and long drives will wear on you.
And you start figuring out what the defense is doing to you, and vice versa. And
it's the era of offensive football where eventually teams catch on and figure something out, I think. Even at the high school level.
I think that's football in general. It's always offense does something new and defense has to catch up to it, and then they do something else new. And it's it's a constant trying to catch up to the offense. Looks like they are going to punt. Smart. Logan Jones.
I don't think you need to help Scott County any more than you already have.
And he showed that he can get a punt off last time.
Which hadn't happened.
But Cardinals are definitely going to come after it.
Jack Ackerman back there to punt, number 87. They're coming after it. They are. They got it blocked.
Pick it up.
Is that Dameron again?
Yes, it was. Somebody picked it up.
And it is picked up. And are they going to blow it dead?
Yeah, they're blowing him dead. Blowing him down at the 7-yard line.
But Jackson Dameron, a couple of big plays on special teams tackle-wise, and now the block punt.
There's about 4 Cardinals around the ball with no Lafayette people around, and they just laid on it.
The stats that are going to be completely Scott County. They'll mark it at the 7. Total yards, 238 to 17 in the first quarter.
Seems about right.
That's helped by an 86-yard pass.
Lafayette's got 12 guys on the field. Yeah, they just called it. Too many men on the field. It would be half
the distance to the goal line. Put it at about the 3.5. Let's see. Fikert 4 for 56. Hughley 1 for 37 and a tutty. 4 for 19 and 2 scores for Fryman. York 2 for 27 and a score. Lilly the 1 for 86. Hughley with a catch as well. Matt King 4 for 7, 28 yards for Lafayette. 8 for a net minus 11 for the Generals on the ground.
They can thank Elijah Adams for that.
Yeah, he has been there early and often. How many tackles they credited with? 3 total, 3 for loss. Jasante Harmon as well with 2 solo and 2 assists. The second man through, I thought he'd hand it off to Fryman, and then the next guy through didn't get very much.
Hickey ended up keeping it.
Did he? Yeah, it
was a busted play. He missed the
handoff.
He missed 2 handoffs, just kind of turned around and ran straight.
Salvage what you got he will push it forward about a half a yard to the 3, where it will be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, nothing hurt there.
No, at least you didn't turn it over.
No.
That's the important thing. That's what you want as a quarterback matures. Just
yeah, that was big by him.
don't
Not
take
to
the
freak
negative
out.
play. Jacob Fryman, 3rd touchdown of the night, I think.
Yep, touchdown.
They signal it. And
That's
it will be 33-0 pending the extra point.
Good.
11:07 to play in the half.
And a situation down there like that, especially when we have the lead that we have in the past, I was thinking maybe Coach McKee would want to see what kind of fade Hickey could throw right there, because in the past that's been a huge play for us. But I don't blame him not messing around, just running it right up the middle to Fryman.
Stanley will knock it off the side of the field house. It's good, 34-0.
Either way, touchdown Scott County. And that's exactly what you got to do right there off a turnover. Or off a block kicked, I should say. I told you that fight song never gets old.
No, and that's the 5th time we've heard it.
It's good to see the band back in the stands. Last week
Yeah,
they had them down in the end zone.
Yeah, and the last week they had to be because of the crowd
Yeah.
and the fact that there were 4 schools
Yeah.
here. But it is nice to have them here. There's been a lot of issues with COVID, and you never know if you're going to have a whole band here or not, or a dance team or cheerleaders or anything for at least the first year, 2 years ago.
It's good to see everything completely back.
Play at your own risk.
Yeah, this is what you imagine as Friday Night Lights, and it's great to see it all come together and be back in full form.
Yeah, this looks like a normal Friday night. It's first time really, other than that bowl game, in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Battle of the Birds has looked like this as well.
And I just think the vibe's back and the buzz is back around Scott County football, and people are taking notice.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a different look this year.
Good coverage right there.
Barely got it past the 20. Another good deep kickoff for Rodriguez. Scott County has completely dominated field position. I mean, you look at their scoring drives. That last one was 3.5 yards. Of course, they had the 96-yarder, but that was 3 plays. And then 49, 24, and 40. So everything else has been on the Lafayette side of things.
They credited Dameron with that tackle again. What is that, 4?
He's had he might be the leading tackler as many kickoffs
on just
as there are in
kickoffs.
this game. He's had all but one. I think
That's a will of want to on kickoff.
Yep, that's where you make your mark as a player on
Yep.
special teams, and you earn your time elsewhere. King to throw,
Ooh.
dangerous pass as
I tell you.
Adams was cutting across the field there, and
I tell you what, Calip, that was a good pass. Fryman or Adams is in the end zone right now.
Mhm.
That's not good.
uh-oh,
Adams is limping off.
landed awkwardly. I hope it's just a little turn of the ankle, but he is going immediately to the ground and holding
he's
his
holding
knee.
his knee. That's terrible. We just talked about him having a great year.
Crud. Yeah, hope it's just a little strain. Trainer Dan right on the scene. It's not early enough in the game to be a cramp.
No.
He
Lafayette.
runs into his own man, does the Lafayette ball carrier, and then quickly swarmed behind the 20. But right now our attention is kind of on number 1 on the sideline.
I'm kind of hoping he just caught a knee to the knee.
Coach McKee over there immediately as well.
Because it really wasn't much contact.
No, but you see so many knee injuries that are non-contact injuries.
Just a misstep or
land awkwardly on the turf.
Well, he's back on his feet.
No,
that's a good
news.
thing.
Maybe just a little scare.
Yeah,
He's
let's
walking.
hope so.
He's walking okay.
They love that
Little
screen.
middle screen. Still running. He's got some room past the 25 to the 30, shy of the first down.
Buddy Collins saved a touchdown right there.
Yeah, that was a well-designed play. Lafayette started it to the left, cut it out to the right, and had a lot of room laterally. Just couldn't get to the marker, and they're probably going to have to punt again.
Yep.
Last one was blocked by Jackson Dameron. They had another one that was a worm burner, essentially, if we were playing on grass. Great Crossing has gone up 3-0. Must be a field goal by, I'm going to assume, Jack Harold.
3-0.
Interesting score in a high school game with 1:30 to play.
Well, Adams has got his helmet back on his feet. He's talking to Harmon down there on the sideline. I hope that's
quick
good
snap
news.
and a quick getaway with the punt this time. Yeah, I hope you're right, man. Picked out,
getaway.
bobbled at the 34, and Scott County's got a fall on it. There's a little wrestling match for the ball, but it will be the Cards' possession, I believe. And now some jarring, and now a flag.
Yeah, at that point right there, Cal, you just got to let that either roll dead or go out of bounds. There was no need to try to pick that up.
The question is, who's the flag on? Do they get the kid from Lafayette that was running his jaws, or do they get Scott County for?
I think it was against Lafayette.
Retaliating a little bit.
I think he had thrown it before we said anything back.
Nope.
Wow.
Scott County.
That's unbelievable.
They sometimes catch the retaliation more than they do the initiation, and once again, that proves true. It's going to go back 15 yards. That's been Lafayette's best yardage of the night, has been those big chunks of 15, either while Scott County's on offense or on defense.
If this game was close, I think Coach McKee would be losing his mind right now. Because
he's got himself some correctable things, some teachable moments he can work on during the bye week and the following week, as they will prepare for a much tougher Lexington opponent coming in. Now they are going to mark it out. I guess they just signaled the wrong way.
I was about to say.
I wasn't sure why he wasn't losing his
called,
mind.
Yeah,
move it out to midfield. So that is against Lafayette. So I started to say a much more dangerous Lexington opponent coming in here in 2 weeks in Bryan Station. They did get drummed by Douglas on opening night, 52-7, but I expect much more of a challenge in week 3. Certainly.
In all fairness, 4. Douglas says that to
Douglas
a lot of people.
gonna beat everybody's head in like that, I think, most of the time this year. Scott County would like to have other ideas. They'll get to play them later in the season, probably twice, although hopefully later the second time this year. Now we've got a whistle and delay a game. That one, Scott County was probably trying to figure out all the flags. It took too long getting the play out.
Coach McKee telling the offense, that's on me. Don't worry about it. That's on me.
He's good at taking accountability for such things.
I just think he wants to get them. I mean, I know we're up 34-0, but I think he wants to get them in a rhythm, and all these flags are killing that.
1st and 10 at the Scott County 45, 9:09 to play. Fake to Fryman, throw deep middle, wide open once again. Isaac York, touchdown, 55 yards, running clock time.
That was a amazing route there by Isaac York. Coming out of the tight end, had about a 10-yard out route, cut it, came back to the post, and the defender just had no chance to stay with him right there.
Have yourself a night, Andrew Hickey.
And that was good by Hickey to stay in the pocket right there and wait for him to get open, because that took a little bit of time after the play action.
PAT would match last year's final score of 41-0, and we got 33 minutes of running time still to go.
I was just about to say before the last touchdown, I've been so impressed by Isaac York so far this year. I think he's taken huge leaps and bounds.
Kick is up and good. 41-0.
And he's definitely gotten in the weight room. Isaac's one of those guys that I coached in the spring in baseball, and he's a great athlete, and he has all the makings to be a good one. It was just, how much did he want it? And I think he's came out and shown, exactly what he's about, and it's been great to see. I'm very proud of him.
Running time for the duration as Lafayette bites badly on the fake to Jacob Fryman and leaves Isaac York wide open down the middle.
Normally on that play, just everybody bites, including the safety up, but actually that safety was all on York right there, man to man, and he just made him basically fall down on a double route.
That puts Andrew Hickey up to at least 183 yards passing and 2 touchdowns tonight. He has hit York now for 2.
Yeah, he put it right on his chest. Looks like Aaron Klein's getting warmed up down there. Scott County's backup quarterback. Might be time for the twos after this drive.
And that's what you want if you're Coach McKee. You want to
Yeah.
get some of these younger guys some time on a Friday night. This is one of the few games, honestly, this year where this opportunity might present itself.
Yeah.
You look down at the schedule. They've got Bryan Station, then Dunbar, and then you get into the districts with Douglas and Great Crossing.
Yeah, no doubt.
And those are bound to be barn burner type games that you're going to want to have your starters ready to play all 48. And then you got a little break with Grant and Montgomery, and then you come right back with Ballard and Catholic. So there aren't going to be many breaks.
Yeah, and you don't want to take a chance on getting a starter hurt.
No, we just saw Elijah Adams.
Yeah.
You just want to probably just as well if he gets the rest of the night off, and as long as we see him on his feet down there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't know
around.
if he's going back in, but if he is healthy, I would just keep him out the rest of this game. Well, he is in the game.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Well,
that's
good.
good. That's good.
Say,
Yeah, it's good.
At this
but
point, I'm not going to cry about it. It's good to see him out there.
Yeah, it is, definitely. But I would, after this drive or, bare minimum halftime, I'd get him out of this game.
Marking off another 15-yard penalty against Cardinals. Is that a sideline situation?
I have no clue at this
track.
point. Yeah. They're just calling them for fun, I think.
That's got to be 90 penalty yards.
I mean, at least. There's been a handful of 15-yarders.
Clock is running, mercifully. I'm going to have this story written and still be waiting for the Great Crossing bus to get back from North Oldham, I think. King to throw over the middle, dropped, and he had a lot of room to roam if he'd caught it. Did number 6 for Lafayette.
Just about to say, Lafayette or Franklin County really hadn't tested Buddy Collins over there, but he had a step right there on him on the post route. He just dropped it.
A quick slant, but just could not hang on. And taking their sweet time is Lafayette.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in any hurry to run a lot of plays tonight, I don't think, at this point. Now we've got a timeout on the field. Officials timeout.
Yeah. I mean.
Now what are we going to discuss? What?
I don't know what there is to discuss. Maybe a clock, maybe the game clock.
I mean, guys, this is usually you yell scoreboard at the other team's fans. This is one where we might want to yell scoreboard at the officials. Like, come on, guys. Let's just play.
Yeah.
I don't have anything too pressing to worry about at this point. King to throw quickly to his left and missed his man.
Number 9 stopped on the route.
Number 9 zigged when his quarterback thought he was going to zag. Nehemiah Jarber.
He heard those footsteps.
Yeah, that too.
I'm not going into that.
That too. And again, that was one that if Scott County had jumped it a split second earlier, it was going to be 6.
Yeah, I don't really blame 9 right there because even if he catches it, he's going to get blown up right there.
It's 41-0. I'm not going to risk the rest of my senior season.
Lafayette's going back to that, though, over and over again because that's about the only play that's worked for him.
They can't run the ball. They've shown that. King, old middle screen. That's the other play that's worked for him, but tripped up there. I think Dameron again.
Yep.
Stevens on the catch. Dameron on the tackle. 4th and 9.
Taking Harmon and Adams out. Oh, no, they're just kicking. Okay.
They're going to try to pin Scott County deep.
I saw Thomas Fikert running out there. I was like, when do you start playing defense?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
He could if they wanted him to.
I'm sure he'd be a pretty good safety.
At the half, Great Crossing 3, North Oldham 0. That's
a barn burner.
Defensive struggle. A lot more points being scored here at the Nest.
At least it's a good competitive game.
Yeah, that's what you want. Great Crossing defense going to be tough to score on for a lot of people, I think. Just as the Scott County defense is.
How do you feel about where they play that Great Crossing Scott County game in the schedule? It's just kind of like right in the middle. I guess it's because of a district.
I hated it first. I don't know that I like it in the middle. I'm old school, as that punt is almost blocked again. Up north, they tend to play the rivalry game in the final game of the regular season. I know nobody likes to play a district game at that point, as that ball was muffed, and I think Lafayette
fell on it on the 10.
If they say Scott County touched it.
Oh, yeah, it definitely went off Logan Jones's leg.
Nobody likes to play a district game in the final week of the regular season, but maybe the next, you know what I mean? Like week 10 or week 9 or whatever you want to call it.
I just feel like it's hard to play such a big, in-town rivalry game, just kind of like right in the middle of your year. I think it should be kind of like your first game or your last game. But it's hard to do that right before the playoffs, like you mentioned, especially when you got to probably play each other. But back to this game, that's a tough break for this Cardinal defense because they've been so dominant, but now they're
you don't want to give up a cheap one
here. You don't want to give this up. So, I mean,
it's first and goal at the 10. 4:07 to play in the half.
Yeah, it looks like we still got our starters out, which I don't blame Coach Monty at all about this.
In a way, this is a good way to test your defense. You didn't know how much your defense is going to be tested tonight. Well, here you got your backs to the wall. Let's see how you.
Yeah, it's first and 10 from the 10. See what you got. Don't let them score right here.
I think they're going to have to throw it to get in the end zone. They would take something cute and trickeracious in order to do it. I don't think they're going to do it conventionally running the ball against SC.
I definitely think Coach Monty's challenging his defense right now.
Yeah, I've heard that conversation a few times.
Yeah, me too.
You hear it in your sleep occasionally still, 5 years later.
I still hear that voice. Yeah.
One of the good guys, Coach Monty McIntyre, is an institution in this program, along with so many of these assistants. That's part of the continuity that Coach McKee has going for him here. There's another throw to the end zone as anticipated. It is out of the end zone, incomplete.
Buddy was all over that.
Yep, he had it covered, and it wasn't going to be caught anyway. He had his tight end down there, but incomplete. Ackerman was the intended receiver.
Yeah, I don't hate that play, though, by Lafayette. You got a size advantage out there. Throw a little fade ball, see what you got. It's either probably going to be a touchdown, pass interference, or, I think
if you're Lafayette, you got to take 4 cracks at the end zone.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think anything else. I don't think throwing the ball over the middle is going to get you anywhere.
I don't think trying to run it right here is really going to help.
Quarterback can run for his life. He's just going to get tattooed. Yeah. He's going to roll to his left and throw out of the end zone. Throws to the 12th man, incomplete.
That's smart because
he had bearing down on him.
62.
Nate Hall.
Yeah, Nate Hall was all over him.
Adams was there. Valencia was coming. So,
yeah, I think he saw all those guys coming, said, I better get rid of this, and still took a hit by Hall.
Hall starting both ways for the Cardinals this year. I think he's the only guy doing that. Paul Garner's playing only defense, as far as I know to this point.
Yeah, I think Hall's about the only guy that's playing significantly on both sides.
You might see
Buddy or someone like that.
You always see as the season goes along, maybe 1 or 2 guys, depending on the depth chart, injuries.
No doubt.
A little draw play, and he is going to find room running up the middle, and touchdown Lafayette. They did get cute in the running game, as it was a little unconventional, but finding his way for 6 is number 6. Pharrell Thurman.
I know that's going to kill Coach Monty, but on the other side, that's good to see by Lafayette. They're not giving up. They're still excited after that touchdown right there.
And it's really, it's on your defense, but it's on your special teams for giving them first and goal.
No doubt. It's frustrating no matter how you look at it, but I have no clue what Lafayette just did right there.
I don't know what kind of swinging gate / polecat formation they were trying to run there, but it did not work. And it will be marched back 5 yards, and they'll have to try it from the 8. So it'll be a 25-yard extra point.
Yeah, Coach Monty's pretty far away from his defense right now. I don't think he really wants to talk to him.
No.
Coach McKee ain't far away from him. Got another.
And another whistle. And Lafayette, did they get the 5 yards back? Scott County might have flinched. Yep. Contact before the snap, and they'll do it from the traditional PAT line at 3.
As good as this game has gone, that's definitely something Coach McKee's not going to be happy about.
Special teams and penalties will be the two.
Way too much laundry on the field. And you'd have to think it's only going to get worse playing younger guys in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be a huge emphasis at halftime, and I believe it probably will
Another
be.
blocked kick. Who came in and got the PAT?
It looked like about
Buddy
3
Collins?
of them.
It's a single-digit number coming our way.
Logan Jones, I believe. There were a few of them back there. Paul Gardner, Logan Jones, and Buddy Collins were all 3 back there.
41-6 is your score. With 2:31 to play in the second quarter. This is the only stoppage of the clock since it got to the running clock threshold. It'll start up again shortly. We'll have the band at halftime. We'll talk about what's coming up for Scott County. It's a week off for starters, and then 8 in a row. Might prefer to have your bye week later in the year, but the football gods have given it to you in week 3. So. Coach McKee's been very open about it. He says you have to schedule what you can when you're Scott County and when you're in Class 5A, but not a lot of people want to play you outside your district.
Yeah, it's always been a struggle.
And you got to think Lafayette won't be interested in playing this game beyond this series, this 2-year installment.
Or we'll give Coach McKee credit. He definitely isn't. He's never shied away from competition, even if it might result in Scott County taking a loss or 2. He's definitely not afraid to go play a power like Moeller or Elder, or even go play Highlands or Pulaski County or whoever that have been very successful in their classes the last few years.
He had every intention of playing Elder this 2-year cycle, and then Catholic came open and available. And
even Lexington Catholic, we hadn't played that series in a very long time, and I like that they brought that back. It's such a big rivalry in basketball and baseball, and it's good that they have it back in football.
I don't know that they had been competitive enough in football to justify playing Scott County in 6A, but now it's a pretty good matchup, as was proven last year. And the kick out of bounds.
It's definitely more even match now.
Yeah, that came down to a missed field goal at the end, and
yeah, that was a tough one. I watched that game. That's a terrible way to
watch that kick 100 times and think that it went through 99. But
I agree.
It is what it is.
That's something you got to know, though, going into pretty much every game, especially when you're in Lexington. You're Scott County. You're not going to probably get a whistle.
No.
So you just
no matter the sport.
No.
You just got to go with it.
You got to know that. That's why it's preached by pretty much every coach in that building that you gotta take care of it yourself, not worry about anything else. Let's see what we're doing here.
A huddle along the sidelines with 2:09 to play in the half.
Looks like Scott County is going to bring in their second string right here.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
No. I was just thinking maybe with 2 minutes left, you might leave your starters in one more drive before half, but you definitely can't disagree or argue with putting in the second string right here.
I think the problem is if Lafayette leaves in its starters, then you got to kind of monitor that situation. You might have to bring your starters back, but hopefully not. Hopefully this just levels the playing field a little bit.
Yeah. No, this is good to see, though. This is good for the younger guys, and you never know, man. Like all it takes is one injury, and one of these guys is right in. You're up.
Next man up.
Yep. It doesn't matter if you're a sophomore.
And he's had to play sophomores and juniors and even freshmen more frequently in the past couple of years than ever before, has Coach McKee.
Mm-hmm.
Straight handoff to Kane Garrett, I believe, is the new fullback. Nope, Ty Whitehead is the first man in there. He's a 5'11", 215-pound sophomore. Garrett's also a sophomore, a little smaller body at 5'6". Fumbled on, but he picked a nice fortuitous bounce for number 25, Brandon Lillard. but he's going to be swarmed by the Generals there. Lillard with a loss back to the 34. Oh, call it the 32. Nope, they'll move it forward to the 36. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Having a guy like Ali right here would be huge.
Yeah, he's Ali Hamdia. He's injured right now. They expect him back probably mid-season. Counter to the right, lots of room. 45-50, still going to the 40, pushed out of bounds at the 35, inside the 35. Sean Rowe, we talked about him earlier. Got a good return, and he got the edge here.
I tell you what, Sean Rowe will definitely never shy away from contact, and he's definitely going to be the hardest worker on the field at all times.
They gave him progress all the way down inside the 25, so call it a 40-yard run.
Yeah, that was a good hard run by him. He hit that edge and never looked back.
He's wearing that Luke Colvin number, reminds us a lot of him.
We got another.
Now they're going to march it back again.
Oh, man. And the thing is, with all these penalties, we don't even really see them happening.
This is crazy. No, they're kind of after the fact.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, we're talking, and they just start moving the ball back.
Well, was that a penalty, or did they just – because I thought he was pushed out of bounds up here, and they may have had a conversation and decided that once my eyes weren't deceiving me. Okay.
Into the half, yeah.
Well, all's well that ends well as Sean Rowe gets in a good run at the conclusion of the half. But that's all she wrote.
I don't think – I mean, that's kind of a debacle by the refs right there. I mean, I know it's kind of in hand, but when the whole time they were marking that ball off, the clock was running. They took about 15 to 20 seconds by just marking that off, and the time runs out. Coach Key's out on the field with every referee just around him right now. That's weird. But the Cards going to halftime up 41-6. Can't ask for much better.
Interesting half. I'll be very interested to see penalty stats, yardage, comparatively speaking.
Yeah. Coach Key's the last guy going in the locker room right here after he just had a nice discussion with the referees.
I'm actually surprised they used the locker room. Usually they just stay here. He kind of steadfastly has kept them out on the field here.
Yeah, I don't think he really likes using those facilities very much.
I was going to say, I haven't seen them go in very often, but we'll take it. A couple of years away from having their own stadium, it would appear, and we would all hope, is we certainly want the best for both schools to have equal footing. But glad to be with you here from Bird's Nest Stadium, where it has been almost all Cardinals, 41-6. Little hiccup at the end on special teams, a muff on the catch of a punt that left Lafayette with only 10 yards to go, and they covered that ground with Pharrell Thurman on the touchdown run. Before that, 41 in a row by the Cardinals. Andrew Hickey's had a huge night through the air, 2 touchdowns to Isaac York, almost 200 yards passing. Big 86-yard strike to Eli Lilly to set up one of Jacob Fryman's 3 touchdown runs. Ellis Hughley had a touchdown run mixed in there, a 37-yarder, and that's where we're at.
Yeah. Getting the halftime stats here shortly.
They were just going to walk right past us.
Yeah, they didn't even have them for us.
Come on, man.
So I'll go get you one.
All right.
So we'll have those momentarily.
Thank you. The Powerade has been delivered.
Sky County Band out there in full force. It's good to see them back.
Yeah, the band is
biggest band in the land.
It is. It certainly used to be. I'm counting numbers now, and it's probably a third of what it was then. But you figure it was about 2/3 of your student population. That's going to happen.
Yeah. But it looks like they're still good as ever.
Last year we had a couple of football players. Isaac Krebs was in the band and marched at halftime a couple of times. We do have the stats now. 8 for 78. Seems like more than that on the Scott County penalties. You can tell it's bugging me because it's the first thing I mentioned. Total yards are 327 to 36, and Scott County is averaging about 15 yards per play. They've run 22 plays. They're 5 for 6 through the air, as we mentioned, for 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaac York, 3 catches for 82, 2 scores. Eli Lilly, 1 for 86. Ellis Hughley, 1 for 15. I guess they gave Des Hanley the touchdown. I don't know if they've had a number change or what, but they credited Des Hanley with the touchdown for Lafayette.
It's like DeSanti Harmon's leading the Cardinals with tackles, only 3.5, but 2.5 tackles for loss.
He's a game changer out there. He's
And
got five total, 2 unassisted and three assisted. Right. See, they put the total. They count the assists as a half, and everybody else on the planet counts the assists as a whole. So we'll give him 5 tackles.
Adams has
4 if you count him as
3 tackles for loss, but I would put my money that he's got a lot more than that.
He has created a few more than that. Jackson Dameron, we know, has more than 2, even on special teams, plus the block punt.
Yep. All in all, a good half for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I tell you. I don't know the last time that I saw the Cards with more passing yards than rushing yards at the half in a game like this, but tonight that is the case, 183 to 144.
Yeah, definitely does not happen often. I think I'm going to have to agree with you. And
Lafayette is, fair to say, stacking the box and paying the price.
Yeah. Even on, like we mentioned early, the sweep. I mean, Scott County's bread and butter is run the belly up the middle, then hit the halfback sweep on the outside. And you got to respect both sides, but they went into this game just completely trying to stop the belly and left the sweep wide open, and Scott County took advantage of that very early. And then opened it up in the passing game. So
it sure has, and he's put it right on the money. He's only had 1 incomplete pass, and he missed Daquise Brown by a step, or he would be 6 for 6 with 3 scores.
I mean, by the fingertips. Yeah, he hasn't had one bad ball all night.
Nope. He is going to be a weapon going forward. Only a sophomore, a true sophomore at that in this era of the COVID year and such.
And I think that it's another thing that's also huge for him is in the swing tee offense. Obviously, you got your one wide out, and normally it's a big player, and you might throw it to your tight end every now and then. I feel like Hickey has a handful of guys that he feels very comfortable with being able to throw it to out there.
York and Lilly just by themselves would be enough, and Hughley, he's a weapon out
Thomas
there.
Thomas can catch it out of the backfield.
Brown's going to be an emerging
Brown
threat.
coming in. This is his first game. I mean, he's got plenty of guys. And then you got Paul Gardner.
I was going to say, if they ever needed Garner in a pinch, he's been the leading receiver at least 1 year.
So that's over a handful of guys that I think not only does Hickey, but I think the coaching staff feels very comfortable with throwing out there and being able to make plays.
He's got a line that can give him time to throw. He's been sacked once tonight, and it was on a 2nd and inches play where Lafayette was just sending the house.
And that was another one where he had Ellis Hughley legit not have anyone within 20 yards of him, and he was looking right at him. So his numbers could be a lot better right now, and they're already fantastic.
Certainly a good candidate for our Clark's Bump and Shot Player of the Game, which we will present at the end of this one. 24 more minutes of running time should push the Cardinals to 2-0 in the season. They will have a bye week, as we mentioned, the Labor Day weekend off, and then they will return 2 weeks from tonight, September the 9th, to take on Bryan Station. The Defenders coming here. And they were a 3rd-round playoff team a year ago. And they have put it together with the new coaching regime there and of course, they beat the Cardinals for the first time in 8 years last year. That came at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Scott County had them on the ropes by 2 scores and going into the 4th quarter.
I think that's another game that Scott County has circled on their schedule.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about, but Scott County had one of their worst seasons last year in the last 20 years, and I think there's a lot of upperclassmen on this Cardinals team that have circled a lot of games and know it's not acceptable to play that way or whatever. So I think just one by one, they're going to start checking these games off.
Yeah, because you can talk all day long about the schedule, and it was tough. But at the end of the day, you're what your record says you are, and those are games that Scott County has played forever and will continue to play, as
Yep.
Coach McKee has steadfastly stated. If you're going to play in big games if you play for this program, and the standard is the standard, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's never going to change. So you better either buckle up or get out of the program.
Tighten up that chin strap and go. It is going to be quite a run. They will have Dunbar and Douglas after that, and Great Crossing as well. So that's a 4-game stretch that's going to test them.
Definitely think that will show what Scott County's made of in that 4-game stretch. It's huge to come out of the season with a great win over Franklin County, and then obviously tonight is a win. But when you go into that stretch, you got a little nicks and bruises, and you're tired and you're playing good competition. That's when it shows what you're made of, and we'll see what kind of team we have when that comes around.
And from what I'm seeing from these two defenses in the city so far this year, I might bet the under on the Scott County Great Crossing game. That's going to be a dogfight, and looking forward to it in a few weeks. But 2-0 is a good start. Last year, of course, losing to Franklin County like that out of the gate, and then they got Lafayette and beat them pretty handily. Had the loss to Bryan Station, kind of an up and down, beat Dunbar, lost to Douglas, beat Crossing. And so it went. But to get some momentum before your bye week is pretty crucial.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'll also say this. Again, it's only 2 games into the year, but this is the most confidence that I've seen out of a Scott County defense in several years.
It's rightfully so.
Yeah. I mean, it almost kind of felt like everything had to be perfect in the past few years if you wanted to compete with a Douglas or someone like that. And I feel like this year they can go into games like that and have confidence, not just let's try to stay in it. Like, I think they will feel very comfortable and feel good. And like we mentioned, there's a lot of good senior and underclassmen that are mixing well. I mean, you got Buddy Collins and Jackson Dameron starting in the secondary. They're both sophomores. But then you got guys like Elijah Adams and Paul Gardner and Cam Keller that are upperclassmen. So I think it's a good mixture, and I think they're feeding off each other very well. And you're not throwing those sophomores in there because you don't have anybody else. Those guys deserve to be there, and they're playing like it. They're playing like upperclassmen. And when your upperclassmen play like leaders, that's a good recipe for success.
Elsewhere in the county, in case you missed it, the 15th-ranked Georgetown College Tigers opened their season last night at Kentucky Christian University over in Grayson, picked up a 42-13 win. It was the debut for Coach Chris Oliver, who, of course, has come over from 2021 spring national champion Lindsey Wilson. They also got to the Final Four in the fall. And, boy, it's pretty aggressive when you're Georgetown to go out and get basically the coach of the best program in the conference. The team has beaten you 8 years in a row. You got to feel good if you're a Georgetown College football fan right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Coach Bill Cronin, he's a legend, and he had all that great success in the 90s and everything, and even the early 2000s. But Georgetown College they're a kind of a blue blood of NAIA football, and when you have that ability and you're in such a great location of Georgetown, you're going to be able to go get the best of the best. And I think it shows that you're the best of the best when, like you mentioned, a team that just won a national title, that they've beaten you 8 straight years, and they're in your same state, and you can go poach their their coach. I think that shows a lot of what kind of program you have.
I think you hit on it. And I think in reading between the lines of Coach Oliver's comments, that he kind of bears that out. Georgetown is a blue blood, and that name recognition, it's easier to sustain a program at that level, I think, at Georgetown than it is in a place like Columbia where,
there's just not much there.
No, it's just.
I mean, let's just be honest.
Same goes for Pikeville, Cumberland's, you name it. All the other schools in that conference in the state have some disadvantages compared to Georgetown. You're right. You're in that triangle, as other coaches have said, between Louisville, Lexington, and Cincinnati. Yeah. You've got some real advantages because of it.
And your campus isn't even because we are in that little radius, and that's great and all. Your campus still isn't some podunk you town.
No,
You're still
you've got,
Georgetown's a great place to live.
you've got a
and
million places to eat.
yeah, there's a billion things to do, and I think that's shown a lot. But
It's
I'm excited for Coach Oliver, see what he can do with it. And I noticed last year his first recruiting class, it seemed like he brought in 100 guys.
he got to work.
Yeah.
Let's say he had. I've never been a big fan of the quarterback rotation, but he had one going last night, and they combined for 5 touchdown passes. So something was working.
That'll work.
And they say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none, but that was not the case last night. And I think it's still kind of an open competition there, as they may settle on some things as the season goes on. But I'll tell you what, if you look at their schedule, you look at their ranking, wouldn't it be fun if both Georgetown and Lindsey Wilson were 9-0 when they play in the final week of the season this year? It's entirely possible.
And let's not get it twisted. I mean, what Georgetown go 8-2 last year?
Yeah,
Just missed out on the playoff.
they got kind of surprisingly
Like,
shortchanged
yeah.
out of. I mean, I
And
think
that's
they thought they were solidly within the top 16.
Yeah, and
would
normally
get
with
themselves-
when you are a blue blood and when
Yeah.
Coach Cronin is your coach, you would get that extra bump.
I think he thought that too. He's like, yeah, I know some people who know some people.
Yeah.
And I remember after that game thinking it wouldn't be the last time I talked to him, but lo and behold.
I just think it's just time for him to step away.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good round. Not a round number, but it's a good even number. 25 years, quarter of a century. That's quite the legacy. Obviously, already in the Hall of Fame and 200 plus wins. And
yeah, great coach.
I kind of thought that same thing, I'll be honest, about Coach McKee a couple of years ago, but he just seems really energized now by this class that we've talked about some of these young guys. He's got Clay that's joined the staff. I think he's got a lot of factors. I think even the in-town rivalry, or call it what you will, has energized him.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember being in the locker room when I was still playing, and he straight up told us, when Cade graduates, I'm probably going to be done. And he was honest with us and straightforward.
And then it became, when Clay graduates, I'm probably going to be done.
So when Cade graduated, that's when we split schools, and I think that really energized him to stay on and lead this program to new heights and keep it going. And now he's just kind of rejuvenized. It's almost like Coach Cal, and he's after that 10-year mark, he was like, you know what, I feel better than ever. I'm going to be the best coach I can be for the next 10 years.
I thought when Clay graduated from Georgetown and Colby graduated from Austin P and Cade graduated, I was like, okay, now he's going to kind of ride off in the sunset. But no, you're right. It has been a different Jim McKee lately, and he just seems to have gain the energy from a lot of this good stuff that's going on around here with this program that we've talked about.
And like you mentioned, I think Clay joining the staff has bumped it up even more for him. He's getting to coach with his son. How much better does it get than that?
And you're getting certainly Clay loves the thought of apprenticing here to a program that he's invested a lot in, and maybe ultimately getting to that level as a head coach himself someday. So a lot of fun things maybe in the future of this program, but it's a fun start that they've had. 6 quarters have been promising so far this year. Tonight, 24 minutes, they have racked up a 41-6 lead over Lafayette. They're going to win this one going away, going into the bye week. Definitely want to thank our sponsors while we have a break in the action. We didn't have too many opportunities to do so in the first half. Clark's Pump and Shop, return, refresh, refuel. Clark's Pump and Shop with multiple Georgetown locations. Georgetown Community Hospital, where your health and safety remain their number one priority. West Banco, by all accounts, better. Greens Toyota of Lexington, great people, great cars, think Greens. Ozer Paint and Flooring, your hometown paint and flooring connection. Scott County Veterinary Clinic, they love and treat your pets like their own. Come join the SC Veterinary Clinic family. Brett Halverson is your go-to Georgetown Scott County realtor. Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to meet all your insurance needs. Burger King, home of the Whopper. Domino's Pizza, check out the new 2-story location on the corner of Champion Way and US 25. Sword Performance, the official hydration product of Bird's Nest Athletics. Pick up a Shield drink at any Clark's Pump and Shop today. Jersey Mike's, go see them at their new location in Georgetown. They offer a sub above BMT maintenance. Technicians who are factory trained and certified to serve an extensive variety of commercial HVAC, cooking, and refrigeration equipment. Give them a call today. Kroger Hometown Pickup. They've been around 90 years, but they're adapting with the times. Hometown Pickup. If you're in Cynthiana, Georgetown, or Midway, you can now order all your fresh food online. Pick it up at a central location. Place your first order at Kroger.com/hometown. Hoghead Trailers, locally owned. Come see them for your trailer and golf cart needs. And Dan Cummins of Georgetown, home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee. Go to Georgetown or Paris for a Dan Cummins deal. Cal Oaks along with Sam Sutton. Clock ticking down here. Final minute of halftime, we hope. Sometimes they put a couple of minutes on, but no need to mess around tonight. Let's go. 41-6, Scott County on top of Lafayette.
Scott County's got a little showcase going down there in the end zone. That's
Interesting.
That's a pre-practice ritual we Scott County does every practice, and looks like Coach McKee just wanted to get the Cards get a little juice for the second half.
Looks like Great Crossing has kicked another field goal to take a 6-0 lead with 7:41 remaining in the third quarter.
Got a pretty good kicker over there, don't they?
I guess they do. They're also getting them from off the maybe cut from the soccer team. I'm not sure. They've had a couple of guys who were former
soccer guys.
Kickers. I don't know what Jack Harrell's status is. He did the place kicking last week, and they've Mr. Fair also. Jesse Fair can kick, so they've got multiple options. It's paying off tonight with a couple of freebies and a 6-0 lead.
Looks like Lexington Catholic just scored a quick touchdown over Henry Clay with about 11 minutes left in the first quarter.
Who the Broncos got tonight? I didn't even see.
Yeah, I didn't look either. I know Trinity, which doesn't affect us anymore, but they're playing a national schedule again.
Oh yeah, they played Carmel last week.
Yeah, got a good win. I know next week they play Cedar Grove out of Indianapolis, and they're the #1 team in Indiana. That's former Jay Pryor. Shout out to our pitching coach. That's where he went to high school. So
indeed.
So yeah, they're definitely playing.
Rodriguez bounces the kick all the way to the end zone.
I didn't know if I was going to get there. Sorry, curving.
If it didn't, it could have been a live ball, but it'll come out for a 20. And Coach McKee loves the touchback. Haven't seen enough of those in recent years.
Well, Scott County starters on defense are going out. That's, I would say.
Maybe they would have earned the rest of the game off if they'd shut them down on that play at the goal line at the end of the second quarter, but now they want to get another series.
That's pretty typical of Coach Monty. Let them get a series out of half to make sure they're still in it. They're not checked out at halftime. You know, they do their job, then they'll probably be taken out.
You know, you're kind of up against the bye week too, and how much action do you want to get them tonight? You want to keep sharp as you can, and but you're also not going to gain a whole lot in a 41-6 game. So, double-edged sword for sure. Matt King in the shotgun, he will hand it off.
Uh-oh.
Not a lot of room there, as has been the custom tonight. Pierre Lewis on the carry and met by a flock of Cardinals.
Pierre Lewis has been
Jasanti Harmon was there.
Yeah, he's been one of their few bright spots over there for the Generals. And he's still running hard.
Jacob Blair might have been in on that stick as well.
Yeah, again, just a flock of Cardinals right there. They're all over the place tonight.
Ball marked at 20, 2nd and 10. 10:20 to play, so they've already used up a minute and a half to run one play here. King under duress, sacked Jasanti Harmon. And King is still down.
Harmon and Wands right there connected up for a sack.
Getting some help up from his teammate. I don't know if he was hooked up, his helmet was connected to one of his teammates or what happened there. 3rd and long at the 16 of Lafayette. Oh, was that whole thing wiped out by a procedure penalty?
It took an awfully long time.
If they didn't whistle the play dead, they could just keep the play. You have a false start where there's contact before the play, and then you have just kind of like movement that, it's going to be declined.
Yeah,
so it's 3rd down.
That's odd. Normally if it's a false start, they blow it dead before the snap. If it's offsides, they'll let it go.
3rd and 15 for the Generals. 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Yeah, that was interesting. We've had juggled on the ball, on the ground. Lafayette covers inside the 10.
I think Wands might have got on that.
Yep, he did. You're right. There he is coming up with the ball. is A.J. Wands.
Scott County takes
I
over
thought
inside the 10.
I knew Scott County was celebrating, but there were two Lafayette guys that fell on it.
He was just under him. That's exactly what we just talked about with this defense. You know, come out, you're the starting defense, get a 3 and out, then you can go, you know, cheer on the underclassmen. Turnovers even better. Give the ball to the offense inside the 10 right here.
Another very short field.
And Coach McKee did go with the second string here on offense. Again, Lafayette has 12 men, barely gets off.
And off to the fullback, couple of yards. Lafayette saying they got the ball. And they do.
Wow.
That's a shame.
So Lafayette gets it right back.
Fumble recovery inside the 10. Coughed up on the very next play. And again, that's what you get with
young
new guys,
new
guys, young guys in the lineup.
Yeah. Obviously, Coach Key wants that to be, you know, cleared up and everything. But a lot of those guys, this is the first time they're getting to play varsity football.
Ball will be marked out to 7. Lafayette will have 93 yards to go. There's 7:19 and rolling here in the third quarter. Not a lot of sense of urgency from the Generals. They are going to go to 0-2. They've played a bear of a schedule to start it off. First Johnson Central, now Scott County.
Delay a game on Lafayette.
Going to back them up even closer to the goal. Put it at the 3.5.
I know you're down 41-6, but I just feel like that's unacceptable
I just can't believe how unprepared they have seemed at times on offense.
Yeah, you get a big turnover right there and you get a delay game out of it. That just can't happen.
King will roll, throw quickly, just out of the end zone, running backwards, which is not what you want to do there, and corralled at the 1-yard line is Thurman.
Yeah, they just keep going back to that play, trying to throw a little swing route out or trying to run a screen out of it. It's just not really working for them right now.
They'll mark it at the 2. It'll be 2nd and 14.
If you're Lafayette, I don't know what you run right here. Backed up on your own 1. I think I would just try to throw a go ball.
Yeah, I'd do something.
Oh, safety.
Yeah, it's going to be a safety anyway. Who came in and
got to be a safety, yep. Jasanti Harmon, who you think?
Yeah, that's about right. I see a big body, and it's number 8, Jasanti Harmon.
I'll be shocked if that man doesn't get scholarships coming into him very soon.
He is a player.
2 points for the Cardinals. General 6, Scott County 43.
That's exactly what you want out of your defense. We've talked about it over and over again, but you come out, you get a turnover, offense coughs it up, you come out and you get a safety immediately. Can't do any better than that.
Jasanti Harmon having another defensive player of the game type night along with Elijah Adams. You could put a lot of guys in that category for the Cardinals, who lead it 43-6 with 6:07 to play in the third quarter.
Something we haven't talked about this half. It's great to see Elijah Adams out there. We had a scare earlier with his knee.
I was a little worried when he came down and landed awkwardly.
He came over. Yeah, he came over and just laid immediately on the sideline and started holding his knee. That was tough to see. But he's been out there this whole half.
He's walking fine on it right now.
Yeah, and he's out there on kickoff too. So that's good to see.
Lafayette will punt to the Cardinals, back deep for Scott County, number 3.
Great crossing, threatening to score the first touchdown of the night at North Oldham and extend that lead. They're down at the 1-yard line right now. So we'll track that one. That's the closer game by far of the two that we're watching tonight. Watching this one with you, 43-6, Scott County, as Lafayette will prepare for the free kick from its own 20-yard line. After the safety, Jasanti Harmon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see if Scott County returns this for a touchdown right here. Oh, they're electing to punt it.
Well, it's a punt. They don't have anybody bearing down on them, at least, for
Yeah, that
once.
was actually a very good kick.
Caught at the 31 by Logan Jones. He's got
got
a
a
lot of
seam.
room up the middle.
Oh,
Taken down at the 32. So a return of 37 on the free kick by Logan Jones. He's mad at himself that he didn't go the distance.
yeah. That hold is closed on him pretty quick, but he did have a seam early.
Scott County will take 1st and 10.
Eli Lillian at quarterback. Had a long reception here tonight earlier.
86 yards.
Now he's in it playing quarterback.
Straight ahead handoff. Whitehead will take it across the 30.
Off to number 32. Whitehead. Tackled by Lafayette, number 45.
Lilly, quarterback of the freshman team last year, maybe the year before that. I'm not sure. Is he a COVID sophomore? I can't remember.
I think he's a true sophomore. I believe so. Because that backfield was very good last year.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, sophomore. What do we got here? Timeout? Timeout, Scott County.
Well, at least it's not Lafayette struggling to pull things together.
It's more like our offense is struggling.
12-0 Great Crossing, 3:54 to play third quarter over at North Oldham. Definitely, if you're Coach McKee, you'd like to see your JVs put together a little mini drive here and punch it in. Be good for their confidence, good for the program going forward, as always, to get those guys in the mix. And
yeah, no
at
doubt.
this level. Ball just inside the 30. Lilly faked the handoff to his fullback, running wide inside the 25.
Sean Rowe again.
It is Sean Rowe and making a guy pay for it along the sideline.
He's definitely not afraid to lower his shoulder.
He's big for a halfback, to say the least.
Yeah, I think he's the backup rover right now, trying to find a spot for him. So anywhere you can get him out on the field, he's an athlete.
He gets in space, can get ahead of steam going. Ball at the 24. Whitehead ahead for a first down across the 20.
He's a big body.
Up to the 16. Checks in at 5'11", 215.
Get those shoulders down a little bit, but he's hitting that hole.
Des Hanley on the stop for Lafayette. 1st and 10 at the Lafayette 17. Cards trying to take a bite out of a 50 burger here if they can get in the end zone and kick the PAT. Quick pass to the right. Taken down at the 13-yard line is Daquise Brown. His first catch as a Cardinal. Call it the 14, 2nd and 7. Oh, definitely like that quick passing game the Cards have unveiled here. They used it with Hickey a lot early. Get you guys some confidence and make some throws. Sweeping to the left, but read well by the Generals. Is Brandon Lillard. He's going to lose a couple.
Yeah, I feel like Lillard should have cut that up right there. Instead, he just kind of ran right into his kick-out block.
Back it up to the 15 or thereabouts, where it'll be 3rd and 8. You don't like to throw it with a 43-6 lead, but I think you almost want to give Lilly a chance here.
Yeah.
To test him.
I also
the down and distance situation being what it is. Nope, they're going to run a toss. A lot of room there inside the 10, but he just tripped up by the turf monster.
And a flag on the play.
Lillard just fell down as he got inside the 10.
I'm guessing it's a hold.
Yeah, I think that's why there was so much room out there.
Yep.
It'll come back 10 yards from the spot. They'll replay 3rd down. Time ticking away here in the third quarter. Deuces wild, 2:22. Clock really isn't even supposed to stop for the penalty, I don't think. But
It's rolling again.
wind it up and go.
Let's see if we throw it right here. Scott Kenny's a little confused on where we're lining up.
Ball's at the 23. And,
Well,
yep,
there
we
it
got
is.
a man in motion that is going to get flagged. Rowe coming this way. Procedure penalty will set it back 5 more, close to the 30 now. As what was once a promising drive is turning sour. 3rd and 20. Marked at the 28. No danger for the Cards. They're up 43-6 over the Lafayette Generals.
Yeah, no danger, but you would like to see your JV
No,
perform a
you
little
wanna-
better than this.
You want to get something out of them, and there's some more miscommunication.
Yeah, just not sure where we're lining up right now.
Whitehead up the middle. He'll get some of it back, but not nearly enough across the 25. 4th and long.
And try a field goal right here.
Yeah, I guess they're going to have Ian Stanley come out. Try to put 3 more on the board. They will spot it at the 32. It'll be a 42-yard attempt for Ian Stanley. This will be interesting.
Let's see what kind of leg he's got.
Eli Lilly to hold it.
I'd just like to see a good snap and hold right here and really give, Stanley a chance. Well.
Now we got a
not going to do it now.
No,
we got a fall. Yeah.
He'll probably do it from 47. Why not?
Got a false start.
What do you get to lose?
Which I saw that whole thing. I didn't think that was a false start. I think it was Harmon out on the edge, and he was kind of getting just like a false step, kind of like he was just switching his feet around, and the ref thought he was.
They're going to wave off the flag, and time's going to run out in the 3rd quarter, so they're going to do it at the other end. Your score is Scott County 43, Lafayette 6.
I don't think the refs know it's ran out. There they go.
Must be Stanley's dad.
Yeah, people are getting a little restless over these refs right now. They're letting them kick it. I guess it's a dead play.
I guess. Untimed down.
Yeah.
Almost blocked. He got good.
He might have got it there. Oh, just short.
Off the crossbar upright, right in the corner of it, I think. We got
hit the Cards.
Lafayette player down. I don't know if he got kicked in the head as he went for the block or what. He's right at the spot where they kicked the ball. Now he's up.
That was a lot better than I thought it was going to go right there, Cal. I mean, that ball's good from 40.
Yeah, that 42, that extra 2 yards.
At least we know now.
Know what the edge of his range is.
Yeah, no, but that was impressive. That was good. And in high school football, if you can have a guy that can make it within 40 yards, that's huge.
That's a weapon. I mean, again, not to bring up Douglas again, but they have it. And there's some schools, Bull County's had it. You look at some of the powerhouse programs, and they always seem to find one.
Yeah, and we don't kick very much, but in years past, we've definitely had guys that are very capable of doing it. Now, Coach Key kind of has a rule of, if we're in the 50, we're going to go for it. But, in game situations where you need one, just like you mentioned last year at Lexington Catholic, you need guys that are very capable of doing it.
He had that stretch when you were on the team. The PAT game was very strong. I don't remember a lot of field goals needing to be kicked because the offense.
Appreciate that.
The offense rarely left the door open. But,
no doubt. Now we had a good connection for a few straight years. Hudson was the snapper I held, and Colin was our kicker for
Colin
2 to 3
made
years.
100 PATs.
Yeah.
His senior year, it was crazy. Yeah.
That's just a lot of repetition,
yeah.
As you know. When and when you got a bunch of new guys, that it's hard.
Yeah, you see Coach Ward working on the side with those guys often before practice, after practice. They put a lot of time in. It's just there's a lot of elements to it.
No doubt. And Coach Ward does a great job.
Cut back and a little bit of positive yardage there for Lafayette's number 4, Nasir Andrews.
Tackled by Scott County, number 18, Ben Pearson.
Ben Pearson with a stick.
Ben Pearson has had his name called a couple of times tonight and working his way up into the varsity rotation.
Another multi-sport guy.
Indeed. Harmon up to 7 tackles, 4 for loss.
Looks like we're going to have the backups in the rest of the game.
I think that's a good decision. Only
Yeah, no
probably
doubt.
a little more than 11 minutes of real time, and this one will be over. That run is taken down quickly. Stevens went almost nowhere. In fact, he'll be stopped at the 28 where it'll be 3rd and 2.
Ben Pearson with back-to-back tackles. 3rd and 2.
Handoff straight ahead, pushing forward.
Maybe.
And he crosses the 30. I think that'll be a first down for the Generals. They haven't had many tonight.
No.
That'll be the 4th.
He drug about 5 yards right there.
Generals have 4 first downs, and I bet at least 2 of them are because of penalties. Maybe 3. That might be the first one that wasn't. Because they got the ball on the 10-yard line on their scoring.
Yeah.
And then we've got an injured General walking off gingerly, and now we've got a timeout. 10-10 to play here in the game. Scott County 43, Lafayette 6. Cal Oaks along with Sam Sutton will be back. I'll be back next week with Coach Paul Raines for Great Crossing football against Henry Clay on Friday night, 7:30. 2 weeks from tonight, Scott County hosts Bryan Station here at the Bird's Nest. So we're seeing a lot of Lexington schools early after seeing a couple from Frankfort last week. Third quarter winding down at North Oldham, still 12-0 in favor of GC. There is another run up the middle across the 35 by Stevens.
Scott County tackle by number 43, Rambo. Second down and 5 to go.
2nd and 5 from the 36. So Lafayette getting a little bit of yardage here against the second defense for Scott County. They started this quarter with 21 total yards on 29 offensive plays. That's a high throw.
There's good coverage out there as well, though. He was all over that.
It was. He had to throw it high for that reason. Terrazay Taylor would have had to be about 7'6" to go catch it.
Yeah, I think that's Bryson Sanford out there in coverage, sophomore, number 31. Then over here on this edge, got Antonio Fry, also a sophomore. Got a lot of youth out there right now, obviously.
A big dude that just checked in at nose tackle for Scott County. Trying to see the number. On the edge across the 40 and the 45, and another first down for the Generals. This time it's Demetrius Carpenter. Oh, it's Pierre Lewis, number 3. I saw number 8 fly over him. Lafayette first down at its own 47, 8:06 to play.
First down, Lafayette.
Looks like number 98, Junior Galindo, 300 pounds out there, a junior for Scott County. Of course, Cam Keller listed at 300. They've got some dudes. The dude tonight on defense has been Jasanti Harmon, 6'1", 251. junior defensive end once again.
Gain of a couple.
Number 3, Pierre Lewis.
Pierre Lewis can't quite get to midfield, but he will get a couple out of that. 2nd and 8. Graham Bowe on the tackle.
This defensive line's still getting a push out there, just not really filling the holes as well. But, you know, when you're used to Elijah Adams out there
Just
filling a hole.
Just that difference in not just strength, but anticipation.
Yeah, and knowing where you're going.
Number 1 and number 8 just have a nose for
Yep.
the ball that's been developed through the years.
No doubt.
One or more of these guys will certainly get there. Timeout on the field, 7:04 to play here in the game. Scott County will be 2-0 when this one's over. First time since 2020. And they had the shortened, I believe, undefeated regular season due to COVID. 6-0, 7-0, something of that nature.
I think the Cards are trying to get back to that standard.
They are. They've had 2 consecutive years now of not double-digit wins, which they had a streak of like 12 years before that. And, of course, the COVID year, you know, that was because so many games were postponed, canceled, et cetera. Last year was, you can certainly attribute to the strength of schedule and a young team. They started on any given night 14, 15 underclassmen out there. They've paid their dues, and it's paying off this year for sure. Great crossing with the ball in the lead. 11 minutes left as they're trying to pitch a shutout at North Oldham tonight. That would make them 2-0 going into Henry Clay next week. King, nice throw, nice catch, nice escape to the Scott County 40, and a nice hit on the sideline.
Good tackle by Mikey
Valencia just bowled him over at the Scott County 40, knocked him into the bench where he got several high fives. Attaboys.
Number 1 guy to pick him up right there was his cousin Luke.
Right, did it right in front of him. Talk about perfect location.
You love to see that.
Good family. So glad Luke decided to play football. I wasn't sure if he was going to this year, but he's an important piece out there.
He's too fiery not to play.
Oh, I know. There's the ball on the ground again, but Lafayette covers it up.
It's a good job blowing that up right there for number 43, I believe. Grambo. Kareem Grambo.
He's been in on a couple of tackles here in this sequence.
Yep, that's exactly who it was. He was in that backfield real quick.
Might be his 3rd tackle, actually. Loss of several, put it back to the 43. 2nd and 13, under 6 minutes to play.
Is it Boo or Bo?
I never figured out if it was Boo or Bo or Bowie. It's a hyphenated name. It's Kareem Graham, B-O-O-E, I believe is how it's spelled. There's a little catch and spin and go for a 43-yard touchdown. Matt King to number 80.
That's the same thing that happened with York last week. It was half a hair away from going the other way for 6, and because he missed it, he just had a free reign to the end zone right there.
DeMarcus Surratt, a freshman. Flag. Is that going to be called back?
Well, the referees are huddled around discussing it, but it looks like everybody's walking backwards.
Don't think Surratt's first varsity touchdown is going to count.
They're talking about it awfully long.
Both teams are back this way, so it would be hard to imagine it's going to stand. In fact, Lafayette's going to back up even farther.
Ineligible man downfield.
That'll do it.
That's a tough call with such a quick pass. The lineman must have just shot out real early, try to get to the second level.
Marked back to the 48.
Flags called. Ineligible defender downfield.
Long way to go for Lafayette in a short time to get there now, 5:08. Second and 18. Call it 19 at the 49. They'll throw again. They'll go that same direction to Surratt, I believe, but he is in double coverage,
Good
and the ball is
coverage.
knocked away.
That was a good recovery by the corner out there, and then got his head around and made a play on the ball. Again, I think that's Sanford out there.
Hard to see who it is.
Yeah,
at this
it's all
point
the
in
way
time.
over there, but I believe that's Sanford. Bryson Sanford, number 31, a 5'6", defensive back, sophomore. And Romeo came over top also to help him out right there.
I'm comforted that I don't think Bill Hall and spotters even know who it was because
Yeah.
no Scott County names were announced on that play. 4:14 and counting, third and forever. King looks right, throws left.
Got
A little
room.
bubble screen and
good tackle.
down at the 46. So fourth and long.
Ben Pearson, great tackle right there.
Pearson's done a nice job
Yeah.
tonight in a short second half window here. But he was in there in the first half a little bit too. He's kind of been out there with both units.
Yeah, that receiver had a lot of room right there if Ben doesn't make that tackle.
Scott County will get the ball back with just a little bit of time to play out the final minutes of what will probably be a 43-6 victory. Tonight's Clark's Bump and Shot player of the game will be quarterback Andrew Hickey. I believe that's the first one of his career. 5 for 6, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. And probably, as you said at halftime, could have had even better stats than that.
Scott County had about 8 guys out there on defense.
That's not going to work.
Now they got 11.
And there's a penalty being marched off against Lafayette. Strange indeed.
Yeah, this is has not been very smoothly ran tonight.
Cleanest, most organized. Event. But it's been an impressive win, an impressive first half for Scott County, who will be 2-0. Here's the punt for Lafayette. High, angled toward the visiting sideline.
Straight out of bounds.
And it's still rolling over there, but I think it's been marked dead for a while.
Yeah, I think a Lafayette assistant coach tried to catch it over there.
Clock still runs. Probably a couple more plays.
At this
one out of its misery.
Just hold on to it. Do what you can. Run out the clock right here.
Scott County, 2-0 with a week off to get ready for Bryant Station.
Andrew Hickey hasn't played this whole second half, and he has been on that sideline nonstop with his helmet on, throwing a football.
That's how you get better.
It's a guy that just loves ball.
That's how another guy I've watched over the years that wears number 12 does it too.
Yeah. How are your Patriots looking this year?
I don't know. We snuck into that playoff that everybody just about gets into now last year. Got clobbered by the Bills. Payback for a Monday night game that we ran them to death. But it'll be.
You a Mac Jones believer? It's hard to replace 12.
It is. I think my expectations are manageable. I think I'm a believer to the extent that they can win with him. I don't know that it's ever going to – I don't know if you're ever going to recapture.
No.
I don't think any team is ever going to recapture what we've seen over the past 2 decades.
Well, it's kind of hard to replace the greatest to ever do it.
You know, my concern is every team in the AFC East has gotten better over the past couple of years, at least on paper.
And that's also true. So. But I think if you get good pieces around him, he's a good manager.
Yeah, I think he's fine, and get the running game. I don't know how that's going to shake out. And had the Kentucky Madison Southern connection with Damian Harris for a while, but some of the other guys have impressed in camp, and I don't know how the carries are going to be distributed. But that's certainly they showed last year they were run first, and that helped break him in as a rookie QB. Scott County ball, 1st and 10 on the 37. Quarterback keeper, is this Lilly?
Aaron Klein.
Oh, it is Aaron Klein. Back in the game and a first down and more as he steps out of bounds at the Lafayette 43. Good to see Klein. He transferred in the program a couple of years ago and was in the mix last year, but Hickey won the job, and of course he was injured as well, I think. So
Yeah, I think he ended up having surgery on his meniscus last year, but Hickey had won the job already.
For sure. I don't think there was any doubt.
No.
Toss play the other way. Right side inside the 40, the 35.
Good
down
run by
at the
Lillard.
33. Lillard again. He's gotten the lion's share of the carries here late as we tick under a minute.
It's another good young talent that I've heard the coaching staff's excited about. They're just trying to find a place for him. I mean, earlier in camp, he was at safety. Now he's at running back. I've seen him at wide receiver. I think they're just trying to find a place for him because they think he can contribute.
I like the interchangeable parts they got on this team. You're right. That's the challenge. It's a happy problem to have.
Oh, no doubt.
You got to find guys where they fit best. A lot of Swiss Army knife types.
I'd say this would be the last play of the game here.
This should be it as we tick down under 30 seconds. Klein under center. He will keep it. I don't know if he missed the handoff or that was a design, but it didn't work out well. But that will be it, I think.
Yep.
Your final score tonight from Bird's Nest Stadium, the Scott County Cardinals 43, Lafayette 6. Cardinals didn't do anything to hurt themselves tonight. Got out of it pretty much unscathed, I think. You mentioned the scary moment with Elijah Adams, but we think he's fine and continued to play after that. Cards go to 2-0 going into the bye week. Any final thoughts, Sam, before we sign off for the night? It was good to see the Cards look like the Cards once again.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those games you had to take care of business, and I think they did that. Obviously, you want to see the JV do a little better and stay a little cleaner out there, but those are very coachable moments, and I think overall Coach Key will be very happy with the outcome.
For Sam Sutton, for Brett Smith, for Mike Scoggin, I'm Cal Oakes saying good night. God bless. Your final score one final time here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. Your Scott County Cardinals 43, the Lafayette Generals 6. The other game we're following 6 minutes to go. Great Crossing 12-0 over North Oldham. You can catch that one on YouTube if you do a search. Until next time, good night, everybody. September 9th against the Brighton Station Defender.
I think I might try to go with that.